Hey everybody, and welcome to the Future Games Show at Gamescom, presented by Sid Meier's Civilization 7. I'm Ned Luke, though. You might know me best as 2013's Father of the Year, Michael DeSanta from Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm here today to run you guys through a boatload of exclusive video game news. But every big score requires partners in crime. And thankfully, I got one of the best in the business here. How you doing, Alex?
Hi, Ned. It's so good to be here. Howdy to the folks at home. My name is Alex McKenna, and I played the ruthless outlaw Sadie Adler in Red Dead Redemption 2. Ned and I could probably deliver a mean seminar on virtual robbery, but we've got a red-hot haul of video game trailers to show you instead.
That's right, and over the next 90 minutes, you can expect world premieres, developer presentations, and gameplay deep dives on the most exciting upcoming games.
Yeah, we'll also have plenty to share about Civilization 7 as part of our collaboration with the team at Firaxis Games. But more on that later.
Yeah, for now, just do me a favor and be cool, all right? Get comfy, make sure you got a lot of popcorn within arm's reach because our first world premiere is coming up now.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one.
Well, how about that for an opener? Mars Attracts is a park builder based in the Mars Attacks universe, and it's coming in 2025, so make sure it's on your wish lists.
Next up, we've got brand new gameplay from Spine, the gun fu action epic. Check out this trailer, soundtrack by John Wick composer Le Castlevania.
Tensor, an autocratic AI controlling our city. It took over the government and let the gangs tear the place apart. They've taken my brother. It's time to fight.
Redline, I got your back. Always.
I never asked for this.
Spine is coming to PC and consoles, so get it on your wish lists. And keep in mind that you can find all of the games featured in today's show on our official Steam page. I mean, just type Future Game Show into your search engine and click on our Steam page.
Okay, Well, this next game is a mixed media shooter where players embark on an expedition to Atlantis. Let's check out The Explorator.
The Explorator is coming soon, but there's a demo on Steam right now if you want to check it out.
All right, 4X fans, you've waited long enough. It's time for your first taste of Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Let's take a look at the first live-action trailer.
Throughout our history, ordinary people have done extraordinary things, illuminating our potential. They inspired movements, created the impossible, and destroyed the indestructible. Ordinary people chose to change the world, chose to dream, to build, to hope, to always hope. And if there's hope for one of us, there's hope for us all. Now it's your turn to reimagine civilization and build something you believe in.
You may have heard a familiar voice in that trailer, and that's because Gwendolyn Christie will star as the narrator in Civilization 7. Now, let's pass it over to the development team for even more exciting news about the game.
All right.
Civilization 7 has been a lift. We've been doing things that were much more challenging than we've ever had in the past. Ed came into this game, Ed Beach, the lead designer, with the intention of changing the way that we go about making a Civ game. He wanted to shift it slightly in one direction to the other and make it so that our fans can't really lay out and predict exactly what we're going to be doing. One of his biggest disappointments is that every time we come out with an expansion pack, every time we're talking about a new game, inevitably our fans know what we're doing because it can fall into a pattern. They know that eventually we're going to need a government here. They know that the game's going to work, you know, X, Y, yields Z. So he wanted to change that up. And with the current design that he's delivering, combined with shipping on all platforms all at the same time, this was a lift for the team.
My name is Ed Beach, and I am the creative director for Civilization 7. I love historical strategy games, whether it's a board game or a video game. Love anything where there's a really detailed, involved map. So Civilization is the perfect game for me.
In Civilization, we're always trying to paint a positive picture of the world, highlight all of the great accomplishments that humanity has achieved and all of the different cultures across the world have achieved. That's still true in Civilization 7. We're still highlighting the best things about each leader, about each civilization, and about each time period in history.
As a lifelong history nut, I've always been drawn to the franchise as a means of playing with history and trying to recreate history, but also creating alt history. Both of them together really allow for a rich playground to overall learn more about history and its narratives.
We always want Civilization to be a snapshot of what you as a person and the empire you build to be this forward-looking, beautiful, shining light on a hill. And I think that even rides even better with Civilization 7. I love the new mechanics of new cultures emerging. I love the idea that everything you build is multicultural now. Different cultures contribute to other cultures, whether you want to or not. In the real world, everything you see when you look around you has been contributed to by multiple peoples and influenced throughout history by multiple cultures. I've always loved that about Civ. I love the fact that it's a positive game. It's not a negative game. The whole game isn't about what's worse in humanity. It's about what's best in humanity.
Civilization 7 still has a lot of the same gameplay that fans will know and love. So there's still a lot that's going to feel really familiar. We're still highlighting the best things about each leader, about each civilization, and about each time period in history. But of course, we're spinning it in a new way and adding new gameplay systems on top of it.
There's a ton of cool new stuff, and you're going to have to learn it all. It's a lot, but we feel like we're teaching it to you as you go along. And when you really dig in, you're going to see how deep this thing goes. And we're excited to say and really believe that this is the biggest Civ experience that we have ever shipped out of this studio.
Sid Meier's Civilization 7 is coming to PC, consoles, and Switch on February 11th, 2025. We'll have more from Firaxis later in the show, including a special gameplay trailer, so stay tuned.
Our next game actually came out yesterday. So I imagine some of you are already playing it, right? Probably raging at bosses, Googling guides. If not, this clip might just convince you. Here's the launch trailer for Black Myth Wukong.
Master, are there more good folks in the world or bad?
More good, of course.
Then why is there always suffering? And why do the bad folks always win?
Because goodness without teeth punishes not. It only foments evil. Cleanse the world with blood and grow lotuses in it. That is your destiny.
I, the Keeper of the New West, welcome the Destined One.
The Destined One who doesn't even know what he's destined for? Those old rascals, they surely know how to name.
Tell me then, is my kind destined for extermination? You're driven by greed, not destiny.
So this is the face of the Destined One. It will fit me just as well.
Bathed in blood, yet preaching peace. Oh, you immortals, pray enlighten me. What justifies your superiority?
Confront Destiny and Black Myth Wukong, which is out now on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
By the way, if you're enjoying the show, head to the link on the screen and fill out that FGS survey to have a chance at winning an iBuyPower gaming PC complete with an AMD Ryzen 7 CPU and GeForce RTX 4070 worth over $1,500, baby.
Okay, another world premiere now. But if you watched our summer showcase, you might know already what it could be. Well, that was your first look at Croak, an indie platformer from developers who worked on Cuphead and Rick and Morty. It's coming soon to PC, so, you can add it to your wish list now on Steam.
Hey, we're taking a look at Monaco 2 now, the sequel to the indie co-op heisting hit from 2013.
It's all about the joy of improvising when your best laid plans inevitably go awry. But we wouldn't know anything about that, would we, Ned?
No, absolutely not.
I am a man who wants it all. Money, power, respect. But do you know what I want most of all? I want Monaco. Right, let's go over the plan one last time. Today's heist, like every heist, is another step toward the prize so long denied me. Cosmo will distract the guards with her darling pooch. And Cicero will make sure they nap after playtime. Find Johnny the time he needs to shut down the machine. If the plan goes awry, no matter, Una will keep it on track. And we'll walk away one step closer to the top. Or run away, as the case may be. Heist by heist, we'll make this city ours. Or they may chase us, but we'll always be one step ahead. This is my city. This is my empire of crime. This is Monaco.
Start getting the gang back together because Monaco 2 is coming to PC in 2025.
We're taking a closer look at Raven's Watch now. It's an action roguelike from the creators of Curse of the Dead Gods.
My forgotten legends. You are forgotten no more. No need to thank me. See how far you've come. Back to me!
Here it comes!
To me, Raven's Watch. We've monsters to expand. Make me proud!
The fated moment approaches. Get ready!
Show me what you have become. Show the world what I've made of you.
Raven's Watch is launching later this year, but it's available now in early access if you can't wait to play it.
Now we've got a new trailer for Zero Space, a story-driven, real-time strategy game built with consultation from professional StarCraft players.
We were not the first out here, and we will not be the last. We will do everything in our power to protect humankind. Standing with the Keeper Council, we evolve our strategies to stave off the never-ending threats. Yet sacrifices must be made. Our enemies and allies alike watch with hungry eyes, ready to betray and undermine. And still, we must move forward together. Every decision has a consequence. The choice is yours.
Zero Space is coming soon, so get it on your wish list. You can also support the game on BackerKit to get access to the upcoming beta.
Let's keep it rolling with another world premiere. This one's an atmospheric puzzle adventure game set in the northern latitudes.
crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I will find you.
All right. Will Follow the Light is coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation in 2025. Alex, next.
Well, I think it's about time that we bust open the ones to watch yearbook, don't you, Ned?
First up is Greedfall 2, The Dying World, which promises an even deeper RPG experience than its predecessor, if you can believe that. Let's find out more.
Birtitimad, Garance. Welcome back to the world of Greedfall, where adventure and political intrigue await at every turn. Your future is in your hands as you strive to survive amidst greed and corruption. The year is 1231, 3 years before the events of Greedfall. You're a native of Tirfredi, and as this adventure dawns, it is the eve of the initiation that will see you become a Donegad, a sage, a guardian of your people's knowledge, and a spiritual leader. But just as you're about to complete your sacred initiation, you are abducted by strange warriors from Gakan, the old continent, and thrown into the hull of a monstrous tall ship. After a long and arduous journey at sea, you disembark on the shores of Gakan and discover this foreign world where people have grown distant from nature and now war and conspire amongst themselves. You now seek passage back to your homelands. All the while, you must thwart the plans of the terrible man who kidnapped you in the first place. While Greedfall introduced the enchanted island paradise of Tirfredi, Greedfall 2 takes you beyond the island shores to the old continent of Gakan, cradle of the factions that struggle for dominance over Tirfredi. You will explore the crowded cities of Gakan and its various landscapes shaped by the different factions, cultures, and traditions that have inhabited them over the centuries. You will have to decide where you stand when you inevitably become embroiled in their internal conflicts. But you will not be alone in your quest. You will quickly meet unique and memorable companions on your journey who may join your group. Discover their stories and make them a part of your group as you explore new realms together. Forge meaningful bonds, or even romances, as you get closer to them and learn more about their background. You are the author of your own legend, Donegad. Choose and master the path of the sage you want to be, whether through diplomacy, bargaining, stealth, or your keen sense of observation. Your tracking vision may reveal clues in your environment. Use your talents, craft new tools, and get help from your companions to increase your odds of success. Of course, the use of force is always an option, to adopt as you see fit. Greedfall 2's all-new combat system puts you in control of combat more than ever before. Use the tactical pause at any time to stop the action and plan your group strategy, either on tactical pause or in real time. You can control all the members of your group and give them instructions using action points. So it's up to you to craft the perfect tactic to defeat your enemies. Change your combat style as you progress, by drawing from the wide range of skill trees offered. Choose the style that suits you best, whether you're more of a melee fighter who uses traps, a range shooter with support spells, or even a master of poisons. You can even hone and develop your allies' fighting styles as well. Find the best synergies between your companions and overcome your enemies with the party that suits you best. Your destiny is in your own hands. Greedfall 2 is a thrilling RPG that takes you on an unforgettable adventure where your choices shape the future of your group, your people, and the world. The story is yours to write, don't forget.
Greedfall 2 is launching into Steam Early Access on September 24th, 2024, with a full release coming in 2025.
Okay, now we're shifting gears to focus on Kimbot, a Robo Buddy Cop 3D platformer. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Launch trailer. Let's go.
Call me Shipset. What's your ID?
Lexi.
Just follow my plan and we're home free. 3, 2, 1, duck!
Evilware fled to a planet. He's been building his awful army and plotting to acquire the artifact.
Bad guy's hiding in a volcano. Oh, why can't it ever be a regular beach?
Enough talk. Let's do business. We'll see if your precious idol's as strong as a real weapon.
You're in for it now, Featherface.
Ship set Evilware's on the warpath.
Kimbot is coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox on August 29th, 2024.
Our friends at Antistatic Studios are here to tell you more about Phantom Line, the cooperative survival shooter where players hunt creepy anomalies.
Hi, it's Chris from Antistatic Studios here. I'm excited to give you an in-depth look into our upcoming game, Phantom Line. Let's dive in. Phantom Line was born out of a love for horror, tactical shooters, survival games, and immersive sims. We felt that there was no game out there that would quench our thirst for such a blend, so we decided to set out on a mission and create a unique blend like that ourselves. We were fans of all things psychological horror, creepypastas, liminal spaces, urban legends, cosmic and analog horror, we got it all. In our world, the paranormal creatures and events are called the anomalies. They leak to our dimension through rifts in space and time, causing all sorts of issues for the humanity. Inspired by their incredible imagination, we started working with some of the best SCP creators out there. They already started contributing a ton to the world and depth of the lore.
We played hours and hours of multiplayer survival games and we loved the exploration challenges, but grew tired of starving to death every few minutes. We want the core of the experience to be the preparation for the journey, not the desperate search of berries. What we also missed was the tactical angle of that experience. That's why we are preparing a choice of realistic arsenal and tactics that you can choose to hunt down and fight the anomalies. You will need to survive in a war-torn environment, cut off from reinforcements or supplies.
You can venture out alone or take your friends with you. The game is designed as a 4-player co-op, but you can complete it and have fun as a single player with a spare artificial body. We call it the Husk. We encourage players to cooperate to survive, hunt, build, and fight together.
We love open world games, where the environment feels like it has a life of its own, not waiting for the player to progress. We are building a vast open world, driven by a true emerging gameplay, with unpredictable events, ensuring that every encounter is a fresh challenge that can be solved in a number of other ways. In the next demo, you will venture out into an open world in a 4-player teams. So join our Discord to stay up to date and be among the first to play it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the show.
One more thing I forgot to mention is that as a player, you're part of Mortville Industries. Their operations span across a wide variety of activities, but their true mission is to make sure that the general public never...
Phantom Line is coming soon to SCPC.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Do you?
Yeah. Buckle up. Here's the latest update on Caravan Sandwich. Studio Plain Toast, post-apocalyptic driving adventure. Buckle up.
Start your wish listing engines because Caravan Sandwich is coming to PC later this year.
Okay, our next section is a little different. We've teamed up with Prime Video and the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, to bring you a special feature covering the most exciting upcoming fantasy games.
But before we get into that, let's kick off this fantasy section with some exclusive footage from The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2, and get a taste of the many journeys that we're going to witness. Check it out.
Elrond, you are wired to fear this power.
Sauron has returned. The rings may well be a ploy on his part. They must be destroyed. I need your axe, old friend.
Failure sight! This has things!
You think it was only you who put yourself in my power?
First up on our list of upcoming fantasy games, we have got a bold new RPG with an electrifying art style. Metaphor ReFantazio embroils players in an intrepid tournament for the throne that involves cursed princes, fairy familiars, forbidden magic, and faraway dungeons. Metaphor arrives from the minds behind Persona 3, 4 and 5, so as well as a beautiful UI and captivating character designs, you can expect a thrilling Shoji Meguro soundtrack and a series of life simulator systems that help to augment the profound nature of the epic journey ahead. Thankfully, you won't have to wait too long to set off, as Metaphor ReFantazio is launching on October 11th, 2024 for PC, PlayStation and Xbox. Monster Hunter Wilds is the latest evolution in Capcom's storied lineage of creature-tackling action RPGs, where players scheme, trap, craft, and fight their way to monster mastery. Taking place across a vast expanse called the Forbidden Lands, players will ride their raptor companions through this mighty open world, scavenging for supplies and coming face-to-face with formidable Animal Kingdom hybrids that require cunning plans and a catalogue of weapons to conquer. Fantasy fans should start sharpening their wits and their weapons because Monster Hunter Wilds is coming to PC and consoles in 2025. 10 years on from Dragon Age Inquisition, BioWare's legendary high fantasy series has returned. In Dragon Age The Veilguard, players step into the shoes of Rook, a customizable protagonist who must investigate perilous landscapes to rally a ragtag crew against enormous beasts and egg-headed elven gods hell-bent on tearing down the veil between worlds. Can you stop the realm from being torn asunder? Find out when Dragon Age The Veilguard launches later this year on PC, PlayStation and Xbox.
Welcome to the most exclusive club in all of Albion.
Carrying the torch lit by Lionhead Studios in the early 2000s, Playground Games' Fable reboot is a stunning reimagining of the famously funny fantasy series. It's set in the fairy tale land of Albion, where players will grapple with the burden of being a hero, as well as giant frogs and legendary beasts. Choice and consequence have always been a part of the Fable framework, and this has been teased with the introduction of fans and haters, as well as a mysterious rival hero. We'll find out more when Fable comes to PC and Xbox in 2025.
Season 2 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, will premiere on Prime Video this August 29th. You can also wishlist our most anticipated fantasy games on the Future Games Show Steam page. Just type Future Games Show into your search engine and click on our Steam page.
But back to the trailers now, as we're taking a peek at Rogue Waters, a tactical pirate roguelite from Tripwire Interactive.
Betrayed. Cutter be locked in eternal battle with his foe. Navigate savage waters and choose your battles wisely. Gather your crew and ready yourselves to board the enemy vessel. Weaken the enemy by choosing your targets wisely. Board the enemy vessel with sharp positioning and clever tactics. Victory will be yours. Tame the legendary beasts to fight alongside ye in battle. Are ye ready to settle the score?
Arr, consider me timbers shivered. Rogue Waters coming to PC on September 30th. Arr.
Well, Ned and I are taking a small break from our hosting duties now, as we're about to air a series of back-to-back trailers.
It's a classic blitz play. We've got dwarfs, demons, and dice rolls to come, so there's a little sum for everyone.
Let's kick it off with Dwarven Realms, a new ARPG launching in September.
When the Rift is in trouble, the only ones you can rely on are... Dimensionals is the hottest new roguelike RPG. Put together incredible teams of unique heroes. Like Short, he's a bit of a dummy, but he loves blasting specters. Or the mysterious Shade Strike, the smooth-talking gambler from the Shadow Dimension. Assemble your favorite heroes, strategize to make insane combos. But watch out, because Ragnarok's world-crushing bosses are no joke. Take on the Rift in style with the epic cartoon soundtrack by Brad Green. Experience wicked comic cutscenes in Dimensional's campaign mode, or blast your way through the open rift and face incredible and unpredictable challenges. Encounter a huge cast of characters like the Rogue Rifters, here to help you take down the bad guys. Or are they? Side effects of Dimensionals will include fun, addiction to victory, temporary loss of reality, and spontaneous combustion due to awesome. Some assembly required batteries not included.
My darling daughter. Emily and Chester are doing well. Your city kids are getting used to the Bloomtown way of life. They started wandering all over our peaceful town. Besides, it'll do your kids some good to meet some folk with proper manners. I've put them to good use, doing some small chores around the house. It'll temper their excessive talking, I hope. Well, they're not bad kids after all. They don't go where they're not supposed to. I think they even befriended some local kids. Either way, they'll be fine. You know how nice and cozy Bloomtown can be.
Hey guys, ready for game night? You can buy. Hey,
play.
Come on. Check this out, guys.
Hold up something, we'll do something that will change.
I'm ahead of you now.
What?
So, where were we? How about this one? So, what are we playing next?
Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed those trailers, but now we're back and ready to introduce the next game, Exoborn.
It's an open-world extraction shooter where you fight for survival against an apocalypse of natural forces. Here's an interview with the team at Shark Mob, so you can learn more about it.
In the world of Exoborn, which is kind of like a parallel alternate timeline deal we've set up, it's in the near future. Mankind is facing a looming climate disaster.
When the climate disaster became really bad, humanity rallied behind a project called Rebirth. So the ambition with Rebirth was to save humanity, to try to stop the climate disaster from happening.
And we try to execute on that plan, and something goes terribly wrong, resulting in an even worse disaster than we originally tried to avert. And in this disaster, the players kind of get caught up in initially a bit of a mysterious conflict, which you get to explore in the game, and you get to figure out exactly what's going on behind the scenes. But essentially, you are a rebel trying to save mankind, and things get progressively worse. Kind of like a firefight in a tornado. It gets worse and worse, not better and better. Exoborn is a tactical open-world extraction shooter. Set in a very dynamic world with forces of nature that constantly affect the way you play the game.
You might be looking to grab some loot in a certain area, but oh no, suddenly there's a massive tornado ripping through there and you're getting ambushed at the same time. So it's that change, that dynamic change, that we think is really exciting and fresh. So when players go in, session to session, minute to minute, and even second to second, they're having to constantly change their decision making. What do I do? How do I go after my objectives? What do I want to do now?
In Exoborn, you are what you carry. So if you want to do a lot of damage, you need a big gun. If you want that gun to behave in a different way, you need attachments, you need to modify that gun. And it's the same way for the Exorig. If you want that Exorig to have different abilities, you need to find or buy different abilities and equip it. However, if you die, you lose it all, which means that it's very high stakes when you're out in a session, and you need to extract to be able to keep everything you have collected to the next session.
I think people who've already sampled extraction shooters and enjoy them, there's going to be lots for them to enjoy and get in on, people who've played PvP shooters of different ilks, the more traditional ones, they're also going to have an exciting time within the world.
We've had a mantra since many years back, since previous employments, which is always playable. Basically get the game up and running quickly, at least for us it's always been in multiplayer, so you can have people come in, evaluate it, and then you build based on user feedback. The natural evolution for us from that was something we call community first, which is we always develop the game with the community in mind.
And we've begun to do these closed tests where we play with not just tens or hundreds of players, but thousands of players, and we get their feedback. And we get to see how in line our thinking is with the people that we want to ultimately play our game.
We listen, we look at the data, and we get a very solid understanding so we can progress and make additional content, additional features.
You can wishlist Xborn on Steam, join our Discord, or go to the website and sign up for the playtest.
Exoborn is coming soon to PC and consoles, so wishlist it now. You can also sign up on the official website for future playtests.
All right, it's time for another world premiere. This one's kind of like Fall Guys, except with flightless birds.
You heard it here first. Fast Penguin coming to PC and consoles in September 2024.
Next, we've got a cooperative survival game from the team that brought you Surgeon Simulator. Here's your first look at gameplay from Lost Skies.
Lost Skies is soaring onto PC soon, so look out for it.
Okay, our spotlight montage is up next, where we're gonna hone in on a set of 6 games launching in the near future.
Have you ever wondered if you could survive in an ever-changing post-apocalyptic landscape? Well, wonder no longer. With the brutal survival simulator Endzone 2. Build settlements and balance resources as you face off against an unforgiving world. Endzone 2 is launching on August 26th, but it's available in early access on Steam right now.
Take a trip back to the 1980s with Tormenture, a dark horror adventure starring a cursed retro cartridge that is affecting the world around you. Solve puzzles as you steel yourself to a variety of eerie disturbances, and watch out for the surreal enemies that skulk in your shadowy surroundings. Tormenture is coming soon to PC, but you can check out a demo on the game's official Steam page.
A third-person roguelite with a delightfully gory twist, Swap Meet allows players to augment themselves with the discombobulated viscera of their enemies. Inspired by games like Hades and Returnal, you'll play as an upgradable galactic meat scientist, always on the lookout for powerful leftovers. Swap Meet is coming soon to PC, but the first 1,000 players to sign up at go.playswapmeet.com/FGS will get guaranteed access to the next playtest.
Sea Power, Naval Combat in the Missile Age, is a Cold War conflict simulator from the lead designer of Cold Waters. You'll take part in tense battles for naval and air supremacy, using realistically modeled vehicles and weapons. Players can enjoy a dynamic campaign with multiple theaters, where they must use their wits to respect the rules of engagement in historical and fictional combat scenarios. Sea Power is coming soon to PC, and you can wishlist it now on Steam.
Harness the fury of the elements in Stormforge, a mod-friendly survival crafting adventure set in a procedurally generated magical world. Alone or with up to 8 players in co-op, you'll pilfer dangerous storms for resources and use the treasure to craft epic structures and topple deadly bosses. What secrets will you uncover as you conquer this mysterious landscape? Find out when Stormforge launches on PC in 2025.
Discover scintillating synergies in Dark Sky, a tactical deck builder with an emphasis on narrative. Players will explore the hostile surface of an alien planet, crafting cards and exploiting weaknesses as a band of heroes hell-bent on saving their homeworlds. Dark Sky is coming soon to PC.
We're back on stage, and we've got another special section for those of you who can't resist the allure of one more turn. Here's a special gameplay trailer for Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Well, we hope you have enjoyed that closer look at Civilization 7's gameplay, but that's not all. We've got an interview with the team at Firaxis Games focusing on the new features coming to the game, so check it out.
When Ed Beach first pitched his concept of what he thought Civilization 7 was, it was really cool, and he wanted to know where he could go next. How can he really change the way that players approach a game of Civ? Really bring something new to the table, not just more layers on top of what we already had.
By breaking the game up into ages, we're able to simulate better that rise and fall of the civilization and have one turn into another culture and people with their own unique identity and continue to build on your empire in a new way.
What makes Ages interesting is the ability to really focus in on that particular time period, whether it's the interaction between the civs, between the leaders, the nature of that interaction. That's what the age system really allows for, that kind of experimentation on a level that has not been seen before in previous Civ titles. When you pick a new government, what does the grocery store owner think about that? When you go to war, what kind of experience do your soldiers go through? These are the kinds of insights that the narrative system offers, these windows into the everyday lives and experiences and reactions of your people to what you are doing as the leader and what is happening during this particular period of time in the history that you're creating.
So one of the cool things about Civilization 7 that does sort of mirror the ingenuity and creativity of humans is that you have a chance to win the game pretty much at any point. You're never really out of it. When you get to a new age, you get new strategies, you can pivot and change things up. And then in the final age, you get a chance for that sudden death victory to knock out the other players. And even if you were trailing previously, the chance to get that victory at the end is pretty much always there for you.
One of the coolest new addition too with Ages is the way that you have new cultures emerging based on how you play. So if I'm playing, for example, Confucius, when I go to the next stage, I've already got some lines into, because I'm playing Confucius, I've already unlocked a couple different civilization options that I get to merge into. But depending how I play, if I'm playing, mountainous territory, if I'm playing with things that trigger unlocks for other civilizations, I can change the path of my own history. So when you get to the end of an age, based on how you've played, based on the civ you've chosen, based on the leader you've chosen, that determines the next cultures that are available to you to emerge as you go into the next age. It's a really cool growth mechanic that has you evolving and steering your culture as you go through time. When you get to the end of the game, when you get to the end of the modern age, you've got this truly multicultural empire that you've built.
What matters at the end of the day is that you've built an empire that you are proud of and that you have had fun building and that you gain satisfaction from.
I don't think our audience will ever realize how much they influence the game that we're working on. This is the first place I've worked where we actually look and listen to our fans and then integrate those things into the game to make it a better game. It's kind of like everybody's Civilization, not just ours.
We love our community. We always say that we have the best fans in gaming, and it's true. We love listening to our community, getting all of the feedback that we can about the game from Civilization 6 and games prior. We gather it all, we listen to it, we make tweaks to it, and we put a lot of that thought and feedback into Civilization 7 and continue to build it into the best game possible.
Build an empire that stands the test of time in Sid Meier's Civilization 7, which is coming to PC, consoles, and Switch on February 11th, 2025.
We've got another world premiere coming up next for an action platformer with a shape-shifting protagonist. Let's check it out.
Maui the Shapeshifter is coming soon to PC. You're welcome.
And now let's push things forward, okay? Because we've got another Ones to Watch deep dive for you now. And this one's all about the end of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, while I recover from Ned's British accent, here's Rebellion Games to tell you more about Atomfall.
I thought my British was great.
All right, yeah.
head of design for Rebellion, and I'm working on Atomfall. Atomfall is a survival action game set in 1950s Yorkshire, where the player wakes up inside a quarantine zone surrounding the Winskill plant, and they have to uncover why they're there and what has caused this quarantine and how to survive the mysteries that they find there. With Atomfall, we wanted to try something new, and that involved bringing in lots of different reference points. One of the games that has influenced Atomfall is obviously, you can see some parts of something like Fallout in there, but also other games in that similar genre like Metro, even a bit of BioShock. When you start the game, you wake up in a bunker inside this nuclear quarantine zone. You don't know who you are, you don't know how you connect to this larger story. The major motivator for the player through the story is finding out how they relate to this disaster, what this disaster is, how they can escape. We don't tell you what your backstory is, but we plant clues through the game about what it might be. There are several mysteries that we set up but won't pay off as part of this larger world building. Part of the reason for that is to give you room to express yourself and to make those decisions yourself, but part of that as well is that the history of that kind of British storytelling is to open mysteries and not fully resolve them in a satisfying way. So it fits nicely with the kind of world that we're trying to build. We wanted the combat in this game to feel very kind of brutal, high stakes, kill or be killed survival. So the combat system blends melee combat options with ranged combat, so you can find melee weapons and throw them, you can kick enemies, you can smack them with a heavy strike or jab at them with lighter strikes. And we want you to mix up these options, so you've got to choose every shot carefully. So that kind of high intensity survival is the philosophy we had in mind when building the game. But we want to make sure as many players as possible can enjoy the play experience. So we've approached difficulty in a slightly different way, and we approach it instead as different play styles. So the game has a survival element, it has a combat element, and it has an investigation element. And we give the player the options at the start of the game to fine-tune any of those channels of gameplay to have the play experience that they prefer. We've added lots of accessibility options as well to make sure the game is playable by as many people as possible. Atomfall is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, PC, a Day 1 Game Pass in 2025.
Core blimey! Investigate the apocalypse when Atomfall lands on PC and consoles in 2025.
It's getting better.
It's
great.
Irish, kind of.
Yeah, no, it's
sound
great.
like Roger Clark. God help me.
This next game was revealed during our spring showcase earlier this year. It is a cult simulator that puts players in service of the Eldritch gods. So here's the latest update on the Worshippers of Cthulhu.
Peggy 18.
Breaking news! Worshippers of Cthulhu is coming to PC and consoles on October 21st, 2024.
All right. Now it's time to check in with Spirit of the Samurai, an adventure game inspired by Japanese mythology.
Cool. Spirit of the Samurai is coming to PC in autumn 2024.
Now we've got an update on Starship Troopers Extermination. Let's see what Offworld has been cooking.
Hi, I'm Chaz Barker. I'm the lead game designer of Starship Troopers Extermination. Let me tell you about something we're introducing to the game. This is this monstrosity of a tank, but in bug shape. It's called the Tankabug. It has a suite of different moves that it's going to ruin your day with. We're trying to make the Tankabug experience as close to the movie as possible. Do as much damage as possible before he probably gets mad at you.
I'm Tamiris Barat, aka Tammy. I'm the lead environment artist on Starship Troopers Extermination. Boreas. This is an icy planet that has been infected by a bug meteor. The bugs have had time to mutate and evolve within that frosty environment. That's where our players are going to be able to encounter the Frost Drone and the Frost Warrior. So we're very excited to introduce this new biome to you guys, and we really hope that you guys enjoy it.
I'm Peter Maurice, Project Lead for Starship Troopers Extermination. Our goal for single player is to introduce a new way to progress your character and prepare you for 16-player multiplayer. A really cool aspect that we wanted was bringing General Rico in. He's now in charge of a special operations group. He's forming the best of the best from all military branches, and he's invited you to come and try out for a special operations group. When we launch in console in October of 2024, that is just the start of a very robust roadmap of features and gameplay moments that we'll be bringing in, so you can expect to see tons more bugs and worlds to explore in Starship Troopers Extermination.
Starship Troopers is launching on PC and consoles in October 2024. But if you can't wait to fry some bugs, it's already available in early access on Steam.
Here's a gameplay trailer for Los Pingueros, a multiplayer snowball brawler where you duke it out with your buddies in melting arenas. Cool, comfortable, air-conditioned paint. Oh, I can dig that.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
Los Pingueros is coming soon for PC and Nintendo Switch.
Now, if you remember, during the summer showcase, the Future Game Show launched a new initiative to spotlight up-and-coming indie games. We called on developers to submit their games in a tight 45-second format, kind of like indie elevator pitch, if you will.
Well, our inbox has been overwhelmed with creativity, and the crew behind the scenes have picked out some of their favorite examples to share with the world. Do you want to take a look?
I do.
Hi, I'm Dana, and I work on Projected Dreams with my friends at Flowberry Studio. The story of Projected Dreams is about a little girl named Senka and her mother. Together, they tell stories and animate them through shadow play on the wall. After moving houses, Senka is left to tell stories by herself and uses her mother's old photo album as an inspiration for her fantastical dreams. Solve puzzles by dragging, rotating, and stacking toys from Senka's room to recreate shadow silhouettes on the wall to uncover key events from her mother's past. Projected Dreams echoes the comforting feeling of playing in your bedroom during warm summer nights and slowly unfolding the stories of the people closest to you. The game will release early next year on PC and Mac, so be sure to wishlist Projected Dreams on Steam.
Hi everyone, my name is Martinez, and along with my colleague Montas, we are the developers of Haunted Paws, a game where you play as two puppies trying to rescue their human friend trapped inside a haunted mansion. You'll have to work together to complete puzzles and sneak past monsters that live inside the mansion. The whole experience is focused on two-person multiplayer, so it's perfect for couples and friends alike. We'll feature both local split screen and online multiplayer, so you can play on the couch or across the country. Only one player has to purchase the game and can then invite their friend to play for free. The game also has a full range of customization options for your playable playable character, which allows you to bring your real-life dog into the game. Haunted Paws will be coming to Steam and major consoles, but we still haven't decided on the release date yet. In the meanwhile, you can follow us on social media for development updates, and don't forget to wishlist on Steam so you know when the game is out.
Hi, I'm Pablo Coma from Rablo Games, and I'm super excited to tell you more about Necrostory. Necrostory is a light-hearted RPG where you play as a powerful and kind of evil necromancer. You cast powerful necromancy spells, raise armies of skeletons, sign dark pacts with demons so that you can later transform into them, and most importantly, you capture dead enemy souls before they fly away in order to take control of them. After capturing creatures, you can manage your team and the skills and equipment of your teammates. You can also upgrade each of your own spells using their dedicated skill trees. Necrostory will be available for PC and consoles in September 2024.
Hi, I'm Alex and I'm a solo dev working on a multiplayer action RPG called Sword Eye. Sword Eye is an extraction looter that combines the fast-paced directional combat you'd find in games like Mordhau or Chivalry with massive multiplayer dungeon crawls. Enter the dungeon alone or with friends, battle your way through monsters, bosses, and other players, and escape with your loot alive. I'm building the game I've always wanted to play, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So visit the Steam page to wishlist the game and sign up for the next free playtest.
Please be sure to wishlist those games on Steam and support their development.
And if you'd like to take part in the Indie Elevator Pitch, just follow the link on the screen to find all the details on how to submit your game.
All right, let's keep things moving and take a trip to Bionic Bay.
All right.
This atmospheric puzzle platformer is set in a gorgeous mechanical world.
Bionic Bay is coming to PC in 2025, but of course, you can wishlist it right now.
Yeah, I hope you're not getting tired of all these world premieres because we've got yet another one coming up.
The rift took us all by surprise. Mistralia was about to vanish into oblivion. But when the goddess called, I answered.
It's a big world out there. Don't be afraid to take the wrong path. If nothing else, it'll make a good story.
collect the world's memories to shape the powers within you. Even our guardians seem to have forgotten who they are.
Memories of the world, enlighten me, and give me the strength to face the shadows that threaten me.
Memories await.
Unleash your magical creativity in Echoes of Mistralia, which is coming soon.
We're going back to back with the world premieres just to keep you on your toes. This next one is a beloved reimagining of a terrifying Half-Life mod. Ooh.
Half-Life, love it. Nightmare House Reimagined is opening its doors to PC players in 2025. The developers are also bringing the original Nightmare House mod to Steam, so watch out for that in the near future.
All right, it's time for another set of back-to-back trailers, so get your wish list ready while we take a breather.
Oh, man, I'm getting old.
Do you fear death? Most mortals do. And for those who accept it, there is power. Back again, are you? Come now. You can do better than that.
Central, this is dispatch. Do we have any more agents on standby?
I write these lines from a lost monastery in the Pyrenees, whose name and existence few know. Although I came here as a guest, I am now a prisoner. Luckily, I am not alone. A group of companions and I are planning our escape. We must confront violence, corruption, and our own fears. Thus begins our tale. May God have mercy on our souls, or whatever is left of them.
Welcome back. What's up next, Ned?
Well, Beyond Galaxyland is a stylized cyberpunk RPG adventure. And we got some news about when you can get your hands on it.
As the very universe unravels, and all life hangs in the balance, you better start believing in heroes. Guys? Stranded a billion light years from home. No idea if Earth still even exists. And a sentient gas cloud devouring the cosmos? You're not gonna save this universe alone. Skyrocket across the far reaches of the galaxy to assemble a ragtag crew of specialists that might just tip the balance. So with every planet teeming with galactic nemesis and a secret power manipulating reality from behind the curtain, defending time and space might be easier said than done. Beyond Galaxyland, plummeting to Earth on September 24th. Wishlist now. Guys?
Beyond Galaxyland is coming to PC and consoles on September 24th, later this year.
This next section, the ones to play montage, features games with demos available on Steam. So you can try them all out right after the show. Let's see who made the cut this time. First up is Miniatures, an anthology of dreamlike adventures about childhood.
Next up, we've got Anima Flux, a cooperative Metroidvania set in a desolate, far future world.
And here's Tiny Glade, a relaxing sandbox game where you doodle digital castles in pastoral environments.
Or how about Office Fight, a physics-based puzzle game where you break stuff because work sucks.
Last but not least, here's Wilmot Works It Out. It's a cozy game where you put together jigsaw puzzles. That was our ones to play montage. If you want an easy way to find all those games, check out our official Future Games Show page on Steam. What's next, Alex?
Well, our friends at Thunderful have sent over the launch trailer for SteamWorld Heist 2. Ooh. Let's check it out.
I'm in.
Must be fair.
It seems even robots can't resist a big score. SteamWorld Heist 2 is out now on PC and console.
Our next game stars a novelist pup who is learning to live in a world after war. And don't let the trailer fool you. It really is that gorgeous.
Yep, you saw that right. Sunset Hills is out now on PC. And a console release is coming soon.
Okay, it's time for the final entry in our Ones to Watch yearbook now. It's a cannon simulator with an exceptionally long name, but thankfully the developers have shortened it to PVKK.
Oh, come on. That's no fun. No guts, no glory. I'm going to do this thing, all right? What's the actual name? Let me try it out. Okay, so this game is called Planet and Independent Bingun.
Nailed it!
I know, you know what? Never mind. Screw it. Let's just roll the interview.
Good
what
idea.
are these guys doing to me?
I'm René, I work at Bip & Bits and we are a small indie developer in Germany. We are working on Planetenverteidigungskanonenkommandant, or PVKK in short, and essentially it's Space Invaders, but the cannon you fire is really complicated. In PVKK you are in the small bunker and you are tasked with fending off an interplanetary invasion from space, so you shoot down spaceships. Maybe you've been wondering if PVKK is a horror game even, or a narrative game. And really, it's a simulation game, but a very approachable one. Not that you need to study a big manual for very long. We do have a lot of narrative parts and mystery parts that are intended to give more reason to actually firing the cannon. So you get some story with that, and you know why you're doing that.
Attention, Commander. Stand by for mission debriefing. Commander, your service today was at the expected level.
I wanted to explain a little bit what you actually do in the cockpit. So first of all, you manage the energy levels. So you have different types of generators depending on where you are at the game. And you generate energy to use with your cannon and in your facility. Then you need to monitor the space where the spaceships come in and try to land on your planet. And you need to identify them, detect them, classify them, and then you need to make a plan how you want to approach that situation. If you've chosen a weapon on a target, you go into this long firing sequence where you just pick your ammunition, get it ready for firing, and then you have to basically calculate at which angle you have to shoot the gun. Because the ships are moving at a certain speed and you know your projectile is moving at a certain speed, so you have to calculate how much you need to lead your shot. And then you adjust the cannon and get everything ready without losing energy. And then you can fire the shot. And this, depending on the ship's size, this has to be a really well done sequence. Because there are larger ships, and there you don't need to be super precise. but you can also be really precise. Like you can hit a 2-meter target at a 15-kilometer distance if you calculate correctly, even with the big gun. Our goal is to release Planetenverteidigungskanonenkommandant 2025 on Steam, wishlisted now, and join our Discord to not miss anything and chat with us.
Who knew managing a planetary defense cannon could be so cozy? PVKK is blasting its way onto PC in 2025. Net?
There's an obnoxious rodent on the loose. Thankfully not in the studio, but let's keep an eye out, because it's not just any pest, all right? Alex, this squirrel has got a gun.
In a world of peace and tranquility,
This is SWAG Morning
homeowners will now hunt
are causing significant power outages.
A hidden truth lies beneath the surface. An ordinary rodent's fate is within his grasp. Now this squirrel is here to eat nuts and shoot some guns. And guess what? He's all out of nuts. Expect sandboxing, puzzle solving, and gun-slinging action in the platform epic you never knew could exist. Hold on to your nuts. The food chain's got a new hierarchy. Get ready for Squirrel with a Gun. Coming soon to Steam and Epic, and coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S this fall.
Stick 'em up. Squirrel with a Gun is coming to PC on August 29th with a console release later this year. So over to you, Ned.
Okay, well, let's take a closer look at One-Eyed Liko. This is a psychological horror game inspired by Slavic mythology.
Хорошо с тобой в 30-м царстве, кузнец, как в божий день. Отдыхаешь душой.
Я просто хочу выбраться отсюда.
Где еще ты найдешь такую компанию?
Я ищу лихо, не чтоб угодить ему в пасть.
Да ну, а для чего?
Чтоб, черт! Да бес его знает, портной.
Говорят, кто ступил в темный лес, не уйдет прежним. Выдержи его испытание, пройди сквозь чрево мертвеца. Умри и сам воскресни. Ну что, готов?
Нет! Стой! Погоди!
Лихо! У тебя гости!
One-Eyed Liko is coming soon, and you can wishlist it on Steam.
All right, we're closing in on the end of the show, but that doesn't mean we don't have any tricks left up our sleeve.
Yeah, you know, this game was revealed at Gamescom last year, but we've seen nothing else about it until now.
Sometimes things don't go as planned. And sometimes... Digging. Always searching for answers we should have never asked. Always clawing at the surface like worms begging for food. The lack of understanding to push what we don't know when something should be left alone.
There's nothing we can do.
Retrieval is a haunting horror adventure built in Unreal Engine 5, and it's coming soon to PC and consoles.
Well, unfortunately, that also means our Gamescom showcase has come to an end. First off, Alex, thank you. It was great hosting with you.
Oh, it's been an absolute privilege.
Well, it's been my honor.
Well, you know now we're outlaws for laugh. I'd also like to thank everyone at home for tuning in. You might want to stick around, though, as even though we're getting out of here, the Future Game Show expansion pack is coming up right after this, with even more trailers and deep dives into games like Post-Trauma and Tiny Glade.
Hey, don't miss it. There'll also be some follow-up content on GamesRadar.com, as well as our FGS social channels on YouTube and TikTok. And make sure you follow up on any games that caught your eye today. Drop a wish list, play the demos, or just show the developers some love on social media. Hey, every little bit helps.
It really does.
I'm Alex McKenna.
And I'm Ned Luke.
And this has been the Future Game Show at Gamescom 2024.
Hello there friends and welcome to the Future Game Show expansion pack. Now Ned and Alex have already hit the road, but the party continues here with more gameplay trailers and deep dives.
Oh yes, first up we've got a trailer for Survival Machine, a co-op adventure game where your base is always on the move. Ooh.
And doesn't that look great? And you can fend off zombie hordes in Survival Machine, which is coming soon to PC. Now, we're taking a deep dive into Exoborn now, the post-apocalyptic extraction shooter that you've already seen in the showcase.
I'm Brindley Gibson. I'm the executive producer for Exoborn. So the climate apocalypse is, of course, a very sensitive issue. Movies, I feel, have already covered this topic, and movies often make very interesting, thought-provoking, but also genuinely exciting genre pieces about tough topics. And we feel games should absolutely be able to do it.
Even if the backstory is pretty dark, it's not a dark game. We want this to be a very fun game, engaging game, and it's a light game when it comes to the tone of the game.
It is a kind of a wild world, a playground where you're looking not just to survive, but actually thrive as one of the reborn.
When we first started the concept or the idea of Exoborn, a bunch of us had worked together on another game. Sitting there then, realizing we'd already destroyed one of the biggest cities in the world, we're making a new game, what should we do? Well, we had to one-up ourselves, so we were like, let's destroy the world this time. What can destroy the world? We did a list of, I think, like 11 possible disasters that could have a global implication. Anything from impact events to nuclear war. Most of them were, to be honest, quite boring in terms of setting. It involves lots of dust, lots of fires, and then a dead world, which is it's been kind of done and it's not very interesting to us. And so we wanted a disaster that was more organic and more living. And then we were like, okay, but storms, extreme weather, that could be cool. Like we could see gameplay synergies. And we could also see a connection to another game Sharkmob released, which is Bloodhunt, which has a lot of vertical combat, vertical movement. And we were like, how can we take some of the learnings from that and carry that over to another setting and do these things that we want to do? So it all kind of brought us towards this whole extreme weather, natural disaster scenario. And then it was more about how do we set that up so it becomes like at least a semi-plausible type of scenario. And then we went down that route.
So make sure you wishlist the game on Steam. You can join our Discord and you can sign up to future playtests on the Exoborn website.
Thank you to our friends at Sharkmob for the lowdown on Exoborn, which is coming soon to PC and consoles. All right, well, it's time we had a chat about some games that appeared during our Gamescom showcase. But first, maybe some introductions are in order. I'm Nathan, he's Jules, and we're joined by some faces you might recognise. Influencers, streamers, content creators, and all-round disappointment to their parents. Anna Demetrio, Ash Millman, and Harry Silva. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Now, Ash, we're talking about spine, and I know that you love the look of that.
I just love spines. I'm just a big fan of spines.
They hold us up, they keep us together.
I'm really glad you've come to me first, actually, because when we spoke about this briefly, we've all gone, it reminds us of Sifu. It reminds us a little bit of Sifu. So I get to say that and be like, I've got a really salient point. Reminds me of Sifu. But yeah, I think this looks great. I love the vibe of just like a bit of violence, mixing up your martial arts, your shooting. And also I love, obviously, our main character with her pink hair. I was like, oh.
I know. I really hope there's some kind of design, like we can change outfits or something. It looks like something that you could change the skin of. Or
From
whatever.
the look of all of the enemies and the main characters, they look very cool. I just like in general the design. Beat 'em ups aren't really necessarily the kind of games that I'm good at. I don't think there's many games I'm good at, but that would probably be one of the least. But I love the environmental design, just the look of it, the kind of cyberpunky feel looks very cool. So I think when I play it, I'll probably just be admiring rather than being good.
It's one of those games that just looks so cool in stasis, but even cooler in motion. Like the amount of different animations that you've got for taking down your enemies. Like you can see them cartwheeling over the back of them and shooting them in the spine, ironically. You've got other people where they just they slide underneath and just shoot them right in the chin, and it's just like it's veering on that edge where the developers are like, are you okay? Because there's a lot of very violent ways in which you're dispatching people, but it looks so cool at the same time.
That's what makes it great. I feel like I've seen a lot more games recently where the animations are really being leveled up, and the level of violence and stuff that you see from it, and I really enjoy that, to be fair. I feel like it makes it more detrimental. Really cool.
It's got that great look, I think, of being like Sifu but having Max Payne inspired kind of gameplay, which I love that when you see a game that's so clearly makes you think of two separate games and you go, oh man, smooshing those together is just the best idea. Why has no one smooshed these two games together
you
before?
think to yourself, why hasn't this happened before? It seems like it's so obvious to be like, okay, do the martial arts thing again, but mix it with the film Equilibrium, and you have an absolute banger right there. But what's really interesting is that, obviously, as we've just seen in the released footage, it's not just human enemies that we're going to be taking on this time. We've got giant mechanized robots as well, and it's just kind of like, whoa, chill out now, whoa now.
Which makes the melee and the shooting aspect make sense, because then you've got a mixture of enemies. And also I love the whole kind of cyberpunk genre of games, and they're always first person, almost always. So if you think of Cyberpunk or even Ghost Runner, I don't know if anyone's played Ghost Runner.
Oh yeah, that's a great game.
Savage game. Yeah, savage game. But this one, having the whole genre, but actually being able to see your character for a change is such a nice blend, because I feel like I haven't thought about a game
I think
like
it makes it better as well when the character design is top notch and you get to see your character. It just makes it so much more worth it.
Well, from that discussion, I think it's pretty clear that we love spines and the game Spine. That's coming soon to PC and console, so get it on your wish list or Ash will steal your spine for a collection. Now let's keep things moving with this trailer for Truckful, a physics-based driving simulator set in an ancient forest.
And you can pack cargo and unravel mysteries in Truckful, which is coming soon. We've got another trailer for you now. Here's a closer look at Memoriopolis, an immersive city builder in which you develop a dynasty from antiquity to the age of enlightenment.
Like the eagle soaring through the sky, witness the growth of your dynasty. Behind this proud symbol hide the countless efforts to lift your city to new heights. Only a true leader can unite them.
Now, Memoriopolis is coming to Steam Early Access on August the 29th. But what's up next, Nathan?
Well, we've got an exclusive trailer for Skydance's dark fantasy VR adventure, Behemoth, featuring a never-before-seen boss encounter. Oh, we are spoiling you.
Core, full stop, blimey.
Forsaken lands, hidden from the eyes of the world, where the earth quakes beneath the tread of terrible giants. Only someone who inherits my power can succeed where I fail.
Sharpen your swords because Behemoth is coming to a VR headset near you soon.
Indeed it is. And okay, now you might remember our next game because it actually debuted at this year's Summer Showcase. Nico Dorico, The Magical World is a mascot platformer with music by the legendary David Wise. And we've got an all-new trailer coming up next.
What are the odds? Thank you to our friends at VEA Games for that update on Nico de Rico The Magical World, which is coming soon to PC and consoles with the best game title ever. Shall we dig into another game from the showcase then? Well, how about Atomfall, the British take on Fallout from Rebellion, which is quite a pivot from the Sniper Elite games that we've known them for. I'd like to welcome our fellow FGS host, Matt, as he has actually played it. Matt, how is it?
I was pretty blown away by it, actually. So I went down to Rebellion to interview Ben. You saw some of that interview in the showcase earlier. And yeah, when I arrived, they were like, you just want to play it for an hour and a half? And I was like, yes, please. So yeah, unless anybody else at Gamescom currently has queued up 4 or 5 times to play it, I think I can claim that I'm the person on planet Earth that's played the most Atomfall outside of the studio, which is pretty cool. Everybody's been saying it looks like Fallout, it looks like Bioshock, and it is exactly that, right? Like I would say mechanically, moment-to-moment gameplay, very Bioshock in sort of gunplay and melee combat. You can throw all of your melee weapons a la 360 King Kong, and it's brilliant. And retrieve them, yeah. You can even like skill that up so that if you're like throwing an axe, eventually it will like lodge itself into people instead of just bouncing off and maybe not doing as much damage.
Well, what's interesting is like, we look at, say, where Fallout 76 is at the moment with using lots of folklore and legend to populate its game world with special enemies and things like that. I wonder if we'll get the same, but for like quaint Devonian legends. It's like, it's the Green Man. Oh, bloody hell.
It would.
It's the Beast of Bodmin. He's coming for you.
But you can have like, there is loads of really great stuff. Like you got Black Shuck, you got the Loch Ness Monster.
That's it. We need some Loch Ness DLC. Surely.
Surely.
That would be amazing, like a raid boss. That'd be amazing.
Oh my God, go into the water, you'll never come back out.
Yeah, absolutely. And they talked a lot in the interview about being inspired by old British sci-fi TV shows. And so there's a lot of that DNA in there. Also, Rebellion have a bunch of like old retro comic books in their like back catalogue. And so when you have a metal detector, so you can do some metal detecting if you want, you find these like caches, and they're like little lunch boxes that have old school like Rebellion comic book art on them. And so there's already early on hints to secrets and Easter eggs and all these things. And so I would imagine we find a lot
The
of that sort of
lunchboxes
stuff.
also feels Fallout because they have lunchboxes and
For
actually
sure.
you open them and they
For
go.
sure. Yeah, it's very much that vibe.
I just love the Fallout world so much, and I mean you do too. I'm looking at that jumper. I have a bottle cap keyring as well. But like they have been so historically, American, and it's so nice to have. We've got Fallout London now, but then something like this is just like taking that idea and having all these different aspects put into it in this quintessential British way. When there is so much, that is quintessentially British that we don't see in games sometimes as often, and it's really nice. I'm really excited to see what they do with the visuals on that.
Well, I can tell you now that Atomfall is coming early next year to PC and console, so make sure it's on your wish list. And not just that, but it's going to be day one on Game Pass. Thank you, Xbox. But now to the trailers, and we have got a back-to-back block of bangers, so don't go anywhere. Keep that bum on that seat. I'm watching.
Okay, we're focusing on Warden's Rising next, a PvE ARPG shooter with MOBA-like base defense. And if you don't have a clue what any of those acronyms mean, do not worry, because we've got a lovely interview with the developers that is coming up for you, NEXT.
We are working right now on Warden's Rising. That is our jewel. I can say that is our treasure. It's a hero shooter with action RPG that mixes a little bit of base defense. And you can choose about 2 to 5 heroes. Each one of these heroes have unique abilities. They have special attunement with special kind of energy that exists on Warden's universe, called Synthesis, and we need to fight hordes and hordes of enemies that are trying to invade us. We have boss fights because we love boss fights and everything.
A unique boss fight and unique strategy. It will be it's very cool game with the element with the action, strategy, and beautiful characters. When we play the game, we kind of okay. This you need to understand a lot of a mechanic, but it's easy to understand, and you feel good playing because you feel powerful because the heroes, they have unique ultimate and abilities. They are very cool. The perks are the best thing of the game because you can have a different ways how to win.
The game was growing from a very slow-paced strategic game to a hero shooter, and then we start to, okay, we can do more with that. We can add robots to help you. Okay, we can add abilities to add some layer of action RPG. That was the process of creation of Wardens. I cannot say it was chaotic, was more like natural, but was a union of these ideas and the kind of person we are.
I think it's the ultimate, each hero, because it's so different. Each one have like, you can invoke like a Oni or like a elemental ice queen or a big robot. So this kind of change the strategic one, and you will think, now I can use now because I need to wait a little more because it's gonna be a lot of savage to kill. So this kind of part, it's so cool when you press the button to use your ultimate.
Wardens Rising is coming on Q1 next year on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, of course on PC. And we plan early access on October, and that's it. I hope you all love the game.
Thank you to our friends over at Big Moxie Games for that illuminating interview. Wardens Rising is coming soon to PC and consoles.
Another game that appeared in our summer showcase was Mandragora, the side-scrolling Souls-like, set in an atmospheric painterly world. I tell you what, would you like to see a trailer?
Paint me a picture with your words, but also this trailer.
Go on then.
This is the place. Best place to set up shop outside the walls of a city. Band of musicians told me the roads have become too dangerous.
This is the legacy of the witches.
I can feel its power strengthen me. Unfortunately, that's where I'm headed.
That was the latest update on Mandragora, which is coming soon to PC and consoles. What's next?
Okay, it's time to step into the twisted labyrinth of post-trauma, an unsettling horror game inspired by genre greats like Silent Hill 4, The Room. Now, specifically, we've got some news about when you, even you, can get your hands on it.
When?
All right,
when?
Just watch.
When?
Hello? Where is this? Is this hell?
Hell would have meaning. No, this is just us and our gloom.
Can I leave?
We're not stuck or lost. No. We are right where we are supposed to be.
Make peace with the gloom. There's no better way. trust me.
You think you can escape what you've done?
I think I can try.
It's time.
You heard it here first. Post-Trauma is launching on October 29th for PC, PlayStation and Xbox. It's not soon enough. Sorry. From unspeakable horrors to tranquil castle doodling, it's time to talk about Tiny Glade with our beloved panel who have been sinking hours into the demo. I asked them to take Beloved out. I don't like any of them. But Harry, you've been playing Tiny Glade. What do you think of it?
I have. Yeah, so I saw the demo launched recently. I decided to pick it up. And I like that it is just, like you said, doodling. It is literally doodling. So you can just get your mouse and just draw all these beautiful castles. And the way that the game operates is just really cool in terms of its mechanics because, say, you make a castle and then you put a path right up to it, you put the path up to it and it will create multiple doors and like, it's really cool. I actually tried to, once I played out the demo a little bit, I decided to experiment. There's these little sheep that wander around the game. They are so cute.
Little cloud-like, little fluffy
You
things.
can pet them. And I was like, when you make a path, it creates a door, obviously, and the sheep can like wander in and out of the different buildings or like through different areas of the map. And I was like, what would happen if I theoretically trapped one of the sheep inside of the castle? So like took away all of the doors.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
That is Sim's brain. But instead of it just getting stuck like I thought it would, the sheep rises up with a little umbrella and then just like swoops the rest of the map like Mary Poppins.
You were like, put a roof on, put a roof on.
Incredible. But yeah, obviously the demo didn't have as much as the final game will have. However, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute. I could just spend hours like doodling different castles, and you really have a lot of freedom with the kind of things that you can build. And I think that's what's great about a lot of these building sims or life sims that have building aspects in them now, is that like, I think everything's kind of learned from the Sims and what the Sims kind of wanted to do with their building, and now everyone's implementing these easier ways of being really creative and kind of crafting what you want to, and I think that's really important.
I think that there's something to be said that there's a lot of games out there that have great graphics, but there's something to be said about having amazing art design, and this game has it in spades because it just captures that quintessential fairy tale aspect of it. You are building these rustic homes and castles, and the tech behind it is, like you say, super impressive.
I was doing things I was so surprised. I was like, what's going to happen if I do this? And like something happened I was not expecting at all.
Yeah, from what you're saying, it sounds really intuitive because there's no grid system, right? So you don't have to block out. Like I think a lot of crafting games, it's like, oh, you can't. You find yourself trying to put a wall there or do something, and it's going, no, we haven't figured that. You can't do that. You can't do that. And it just looks so fluid and
it's
so intuitive.
Yeah, I think hopefully we're going to see a lot more like that because it just makes it, like you said, so much more creative, and there's just so much you can do. Also has a really good photo mode in the game, and I'm a massive fan of photo modes in games, especially when you've made this like beautiful masterpiece and you can change all the filters, the time of day, how much cloud and fog there is. Perfect.
Well, I'm going to round things up there, and I never thought I'd say this, but that's enough about trapping sheep for the moment. Right, well, as much as I've enjoyed hearing about all their adorable dioramas, we've got a show to wrap up. Tiny Glade is coming to PC later this year, so keep your eyes peeled for it.
Indeed, indeed. But before we say our formal goodbyes, we've got one more treat for you, because while we were filming this year's Gamescom showcase, we had Ned and Alex interview each other about their careers, including their first and most famous roles.
And of course, we also asked them who'd be better in a real-life heist. How could we not? Here's a quick teaser.
Now it's time to have an impromptu catch-up and find out a little more about each other by answering some random questions.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ladies first.
Ooh.
Weirdest line of dialogue you ever had to record?
Can't see anything that doesn't have balls.
Absolutely.
He's a charming guy for a fat bastard. Oh my God. Share your go-to vocal warm-up technique.
Trauma?
I'm glad you got the hard ones.
You know what I should do? Act. There's just...
Yeah, I hate that line.
Really?
Hate it. I didn't want to do it. I know it, but I didn't want to do it. I thought it was the dumbest line ever. I kept trying to change it.
I mean, I think we're doing okay.
Well, I know we look good.
Hey. As long as I got good grades, I got to do that.
Yeah, Jimmy, if you're out there. Anyway, he puts on Twitter. What? Did they tell you were doing motion capture?
No.
They didn't tell me we were doing motion capture.
What was your over-under?
Way under.
Killer. Okay. See you guys.
I do care. I care.
Let's go. Call your Uber.
And the full Ned and Alex interview will land on our FGS YouTube channel next week, so make sure you are all subscribed. But yes, unfortunately, that is all we have time for, I'm afraid. Thanks so much for tuning into the Future Games Show expansion pack. We hope you enjoyed this bonus round of juicy reveals.
Remember to check out our official Future Games Show Steam page to find any of the games featured today, and we'll be back in 2025 for the next spring showcase. See you then in the future when that happens. Oh, do we wave now?
Yeah, we wave.
Okay.
Wave endlessly.